My name is Billy Drummond. I'm the project manager here at the Shankill Alternative site. So the trip for us was part of the Communities in Transition Safe project that we run, and an important part of that is looking at other areas for learning. So for us, it was good to bring activists and police officers into a totally different context of the Netherlands and look at their sort of experience of things that maybe we haven't really got to that stage yet in terms of drugs, and also in terms of immigration and integration issues. So for me, it was really good that we were able to hear and see how they do it in their own context. But I think what was as important was bringing community activists and people from the Shankill into that area, spend a bit of time together and actually digesting the experiences that are happening over there. We've also obviously seen now the Artes University, they have a programme here that we brought to the Shankill, and it was really good to see the students and see the space and the people involved in Artes. So it was a very valuable exercise, but I think there's still work that we need to carry on and continue with.
What I enjoyed most about the trip was visiting the University of Artes, who we've been working with in Belfast, and seeing the range of connections they have across the Netherlands. And it really brought home the relationship between art and social justice and community safety through the various organisations they were able to connect us in with.
My name is Ian McLaughlin, Project Manager at Lower Shankill Community Association, and also a recently elected Belfast City Councillor. The Artes University and the students who were based on the Shankill, we met, very many of them, again, fascinating place, and they have a fascinating ethos of how they work hands-on in communities and embed art at the centre of community safety. It's something that our community has long toyed with, but I think with the help of Artes, the CIT programme and all our community partners, I think we have a real opportunity to use art as a medium for enhancing the community safety efforts that we all strive to every day.
My name is Rowan Davison. I'm the Neighbourhood Regeneration Officer for Greater Shankill Partnership, and I've been working with Build for the last 2 years. I was a participant on the study trip to Arnhem and Amsterdam, and the takeaway from me was the connection that the government and councils in Holland have made between private housing and public housing. They have a policy where they have up to 20% private sector dwellings in a number of really difficult and disadvantaged areas. This has been a policy for the last 20 years. We visited with residents several of these areas, and what was impressive in the way this has helped to turn the area around, it's taken it from no-go area in terms of policing. So by putting in private sector housing into effectively what was a ghetto with a large migrant population, has actually stabilised the community, has led to benefits in terms of kind of investment in education. And I think there's a lot of learning from us, both from a policing and community safety point of view in terms of some of our areas, but also in terms of regeneration and the possibilities of having mixed housing to kind of lift and develop areas.
My name's Stacey Graham, and I coordinate the SAFE project here at Shankill Alternatives. One thing I really took away from our learning visit to Amsterdam and Arnhem was actually the joined up approach that the government departments had with the community organisations. I think on the Shankill and across Belfast and Northern Ireland as a whole, working class communities are really flooded with community organisations, but actually in the Netherlands there's a lot less, but I think that's because of the joined up approach with the government and because they're so accessible almost, and that's one thing that really struck me, going into different meetings, and the great relationship was there with the government departments and with the activists on the ground. So that was a real big difference for me. Another thing which struck me as well was the similarities around the things that we're trying to do within, especially the ethos of alternatives, is about actually being embedded in the community and having people who work in the community actually delivering programs and projects. And I noticed that particularly in Amsterdam New West, where they had community champions and community leaders who were engaged in trying to divert young people away from antisocial behaviour and criminality.
I'm Julie Davidson. I work for the ACT Initiative. I'm the Women's Coordinator there. I was invited by Alternatives to take part in the SAFE project on a learning visit to Artes University, among other places. So while we were there, we spoke with a lot of different bodies and organisations, but what stood out for me the most was Angelo. Angelo was in Prospect 11, and his perseverance, his passion and his dedication to his community was very inspiring, I thought, to me, and I related a lot to that, being from here, a small community, and doing that type of work.
My name's Ben Johnston and I'm the office manager here at Shankill Alternatives. So one of the other things that we looked at was the use of injecting drug use areas, or rooms as they're sometimes known, and we talked with an expert who gave evidence from other countries that have been able to implement this, including in Amsterdam, and it was really good to get those valuable lessons for some research that's around the world that we can maybe take back and use here going forward in the future.
My name's Caroline Robb. I'm the neighbourhood sergeant for the Court North team based in Tennant Street, and I cover the Greater Shankill area. One of the most interesting parts for me was meeting the Dutch police in Arnhem, especially learning how they are dealing with young persons involved in drug dealing, their collaborative approaches they're taking with other agencies to work with the young people and try and get them out of crime and drugs. I also enjoyed the tour around Amsterdam New West, seeing how they're working alongside the residents and the young people and getting all the other agencies such as the council and the police to work together to help with regeneration in the area and better facilities for all the residents.